I am reading one of your recent articles, and it talks about Milton Williams being on injured reserve and how the team internally decided to handle the roster spot. First of all, how big a piece is Milton Williams missing? How much is that going to affect the team?
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty big. It'll be interesting to see, how Vrabel and his coaching staff can make up for losing one of their best players. Like on defense, it's pick a best player. It's either Milton Williams or Christian Gonzalez. I'd still lean Gonzalez, but Milton Williams is by far your best defensive lineman. He's done a lot of things that I think at times go unnoticed, but he's opened up room for Harold Landry and Caleb on Chason to get sacks to the point I heard every time he does something that gets them a sack, they owe him a steak dinner, and they're like sort of running a tab in one of their meeting groups. But it's pretty big. I mean, maybe you don't see it this week against the Bengals and Joe Flacco or the Giants, but like come a few weeks you're playing the Bills and the Ravens, not having your best defensive lineman could certainly hurt you. So yeah, I think it's one of the big things to watch out here the next really 4 games to see how this defense looks and without a guy like that. But that's the NFL, right? I mean, every team loses good players. The Pats just happen to lose one of their best. So, yeah, kind of a big test for Mike Vrabel and his staff to overcome that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, that was going to be my question. How does it, affect them specifically? And you could make the case, as you just did, Mark, that it may not matter this weekend against the Bengals or even next against the Giants. But when you're looking at the Bills Ravens, and sorry, when you're a 9-2 football team, you have the luxury of sitting here thinking, well, those are a couple of games you might have lost anyway. So I'm not saying he's not a big loss, but you might even have to project out until the postseason before you really see how this could damage the team, depending on how long he's out.
And then say you get past where he can return and you finish the season against the Jets and Dolphins. And at that point, I mean, guys, even if the Pats go 3-3 the rest of the way, they win 12 games, which is kind of nuts, right? So you're probably looking at a 1 or a 2 seed, and you have to sort of determine, is it good to get Milton Williams back, get his legs under him, or do we just save him for the postseason? But I mean, this red hot start has given them some options. It just, I don't know, to me, it's wild to think how far they've come to what we all thought they would be, to the point we can say, oh yeah, they could go 500 the rest of the way and still win 12 games. Like, it's kind of crazy.
How will the defense just get it back to the here and now for the
Yeah.
next 4 games? How will the defense be different without Milton Williams on the field? Are they going to run the same stuff with Tonga replacing Milton Williams? Will the scheme be different for Zach Core? How do you think it'll play out?
Yeah, I think they'll play Kyrie's Tonga a little bit more. Now, he's a really fun guy, but he's more of a nose tackle. He might make you maybe, I don't know, a stout against the run. I don't want to say you're going to be better against the run without Milton Williams, but you'll have a good run stuffer in there. You're going to lose something in terms of the pass rush. They're going to play more of Joshua Farmer, a fourth-round pick, and Corey Durden, a guy a lot of people probably don't know, an undrafted free agent who's played some decent snaps for you. But honestly, I don't think they're gonna change much in terms of like their scheme. They're gonna try to do what they've done well. They'll probably it'll be a rotation of guys, right? It's like no one's going to replace Milton Williams just one on one. You're gonna have a bunch of guys going there, but also Christian Barmore. I think it's time for him to probably make a little bit bigger of an impact. Like he makes an impact, but like only 1 sack this year. I think that's more of a credit to other teams sort of doubling him and him clearing things up for other people. So maybe he pops off here, at the last half of the season and finishes strong.
Is there anyone else who's not quite and it's tough because I think receivers specifically, a lot of these guys have popped, and Drake May is, whether he's making them better or their game has just ascended, whatever the case may be. Offensively, team seems to be playing better than a lot of expectations. But is there anyone on either side of the ball other than Barmore where you think, yeah, we need to see a little bit more out of him?
It's funny. My answer a couple weeks ago would have been Travion Henderson,
Yeah.
and then he absolutely popped off. I think by the end of the season, I would like to see more from Kyle Williams. He flashed with the big touchdown catch a couple weeks ago, but like he just doesn't always look like he's on the same page with Drake May. And for a young receiver, I think that's a position where historically, when a guy is going to be a really good pro, you see it pretty instantly. So Kyle Williams is one of the nicest people I've ever met. So I hope he does well. But by the end of the year, man, I really hope he gets on the same page with Drake May. I think that would make a lot of fans happy. And then, you know, it's I think health would be my honest answer with you. I want to see Kayshon Boutte back and healthy and being the number 2 receiver he was. You want to see Ramondre coming back and just, providing some better depth here on out. I mean, last game, honestly, they really only had 2 running backs with Travion Henderson and Dearness Johnson.
You had your hand up.
No, I did not have a hand up.
Oh, you didn't have your hand up? Okay.
No, I did not.
Does Cincinnati pose any kind of threat?
Joe, I don't know, Joe Flacco, no Jamar Chase, no Trey Hendrickson. I mean, Joe Flacco, weird things happen, right? I mean, I guess it's the NFL, like bad teams win surprising games sometimes, but like Joe Flacco is probably going to air it out. They probably attack you with their veteran running back, Chase Brown, but I would honestly be shocked if they lost to Joe Flacco and a team without Jamar Chase and Troy Hendrickson. So, I mean, I guess I'll say maybe because it's the NFL and crazy things happen, but probably not.
Do we know Jamar Chase isn't playing?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's
Yes,
official.
We do know that. Okay. Yes, his appeal was denied last night.
Well, he said he would have spit in his face, Mark. Don't you think that's a good defense? I mean, if he was going to spit on him, he really would have spit on him.
It's an interesting defense. If I would have spat on him, it would have been in the face, but since it hit him in like the torso, it was just that loogie was an accident. It just, yeah. So that's a tough one. It's like excuses my 8-year-old son makes up sometimes. I'm like, really? You thought that was gonna?
So there's no way you think that Chase can beat it. You think that it's done.
So last night he appealed, and the appeal was denied. So
so it was
denied. Officially
yes.
The Bengals will be without Jamar Chase on Sunday. And
The good fortune continues for this team.
Right.
It is.
Right?
If you line this up, things have broken so well for the Patriots, injury wise, schedule wise, and things like this. I mean, I can't remember the last time
what broke for them when they beat the Bills, John? Was there some big lucky break that they suffered, or are they just good?
Here we go. Yeah, you're right, Hardy. I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
I can't believe I brought that up.
You're a bad fan is what
so,
you are.
Mark, I can't remember a Patriots team where stuff lined up for them like this before.
No, because even Monday night against the Giants, they don't have Cam Scatterbo or their number 1 receiver Malik.
Yeah, Hardy. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Jesus Christ.
No, I can remember it the opposite way, right? I can remember like things breaking bad for them, like injury wise. Like I can go back and make myself feel old. Like 2015, they started 10-0, and then they lost like half their offense, and they lost in the AFC Championship to Denver. But yeah, there's some luck to it. But I tell people all the time, this isn't college sports. Also, you don't make your own schedule. You have to beat who's on it. So, so far so good.
How do you like the Patriots' chances against that Denver team? Most of us around here say they wouldn't be a problem in the playoffs.
You're right. You watch them, and they don't score a lot of points.
Yeah.
They're like defensive heavy. Like I don't know. I kind of feel like the Pats could beat them, right? Like Bo Nix is like solid, high floor, but like he's not better than Drake May. I think in the NFL, like you take the team with the better quarterback. So like,
what about the defense, Mark? What about the defense?
The Denver defense is also obviously very impressive. So that would be it'd be a very good test. Well, but I don't know, right? Like even like go to the Colts, like Daniel Jones. Like, isn't there a part of you that feels like, yeah, Drake May and the Patriots could beat the Colts and Daniel Jones? Like, there's a chance.
We'll talk more about the run defense, I guess, if we're going to talk about the Colts and see how the Patriots are looking in that regard. And then we start talking about guys like Barmore and whether or not they're going to step up. But no, full disclosure, Fred has been saying for a while before it was in vogue to say so that the Broncos would be a tough test. And they have been impressive. That defense is scary.
Yeah, that's scary. And I think the thing with their schedule, like we'll get like a glimpse with the Bills and Ravens, but like no Milton Williams. Honestly, you can honestly come out of those games if you lose it and say, well, if they had Milton Williams, maybe they would have been better. So I don't know. Though it's just a fun time. I think for me, it's a fun time to cover the team, and it's probably fun for you guys to talk about them right now. It's like it's crazy how much things have just shifted here, over the last 3 years that we're talking about the playoffs and them potentially being the best AFC team. It's pretty wild.
To be talking about the possibility of a number 1 seed is so far removed from what my feelings were and what most people were talking about before the season started. So yeah.
So
I don't think the Patriots thought that they were going to be in first place in the division by this much at this point in the season.
I think the Patriots, Fred, and Mark, Fred and I were saying 6 or 7 wins before the season started. The rookies on the offensive line, the lack of depth, you didn't know what you're going to get at Drake May and Stephon Diggs, et cetera, et cetera. I think the Patriots, if you put a gun to Mike Vrabel's head, would have said basically the same thing. It would have been a nice little step forward my first year, but we're building a program, and maybe in a couple of years we'll have a year like this one.
Yeah, and I thought like if they could stay close to 500, it would be a win just as long as Drake May showed potential. And I really think that, Mike Vrabel, I think as a part of him that still believes this is that they're building something here. And I think he thought this was like the first step of just like, all right, he has guys who are like program guys already on the roster. Let's just build here on out. Things have happened a lot quicker. But I'll say this, like this team is so close. Like they really do get along. Like there's something that's said about a team that gels. Like even like the other week, I know we all made a big deal about them wanting to practice outside and not, cut meeting time on a short week. But like there's just something about this group that, I don't know. People use the word special a little bit too much, but I think right now they're kind of just a special group, and it'll be cool to see how it unfolds, the last half of the season.
Well, Cam Newton thinks they're pretenders.
Right.
He thinks they're pretenders. All right. Mark Daniels, read him in Mass Live. Thanks so much for the time, sir.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.